Hi, it's Miss Heather from Conservatory of the Ozarks. So I'm here with a little update video. I have been meaning to make another one for a while, and I keep putting it off till I have my hair and makeup perfect and have time to do a good job, but it's not going to happen right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. And so here's what's going on lately. So I don't remember the last time I did an update video exactly what was going on, but we recently were on the Kelly Clarkson show. That was like a big highlight at the end of May, and people have been asking if we got a lot of calls from people to sign up for lessons after that. We really didn't get any calls for people wanting to sign up because of that show, so that was too bad. I mean, I kind of didn't really think we would because it's a national show and we're such a local business. We're not a national business, but I was hoping that we would get calls from it because a couple of the reporters here in Springfield had said they would do a story about the fact that we were on the Kelly Clarkson show, but then none of them ended up doing that, so we didn't get like the local coverage, which is really helpful for us. So that was too bad. But we did get, because of being on the show, another donation from John and Donna, which was really great. And Guitar Center has promised to send us one as well, which we haven't got yet, but I'm assuming it will be coming. So that will give us funding for a few more months. So hopefully we have funding, into the fall. And things have been going, I don't know if I should say things are going really well or really badly. It's so mixed these days. It seems like for the last year and a half since all the COVID things started happening, it just feels like living your life with the edge of a cliff 2 steps in front of you, and you're on a treadmill or something. It's like you just don't ever know what's going to happen next. So I'll talk about the things that are going well first, maybe. We have 2 new administrators at the conservatory, which is really great, really helpful. They're both doing a good job and lightening my load and learning how to run everything so that I can just be a teacher, and so that all the work that's being done at the conservatory, somebody's getting paid for it. And there are 2 people who know how to keep like the business running. So if I got in a car wreck or had a baby or got COVID or something and I couldn't work, I wouldn't be like, oh, there's nobody who is willing to do all this work for free anymore. Oh, there's nobody who knows how to do this work anymore, so the conservatory has to close because we couldn't go a whole month without Heather doing all this for free, because that's not very stable. And also, I kind of have been doing it so long, I'm kind of past the point where I'm willing to keep doing it for free anymore, I think. It's a lot of time. And training these 2 to take my place, I really am noticing how much time it takes, because not that they're slow at doing it or anything like that. Like, they're both really good workers, but I guess it's reassuring, because I always have felt like, oh, I'm so behind on all the administrative work, but to see 2 people working, trying to keep up with all of it, and it still is like, wow, it's hard to keep up with all of this. It kind of makes me feel better about myself, never doing that great of a job at keeping up with everything. So it's interesting. I guess this would kind of go in the bad category, but the first month in, I told them, we'll work extra hours this month so you can get trained, even though it's not in the budget, because I am so behind. Like, my grandma died at the end of May, so I took off this week from work that I was not expecting to take off, and I don't regret it at all. I wouldn't trade that week for anything in the world, but it was really hard because I was already just like struggling so hard to stay afloat. And then I was even like way more behind. And emotionally, of course, that's hard to deal with. So it was just a lot. So I was like, let's take this month and just put in however much time and like get caught back up on things. And they put in, it was like, I think nearly a full-time job for both of them, and we almost got caught up. And then this month we're in the budget, so they're both only doing like very part-time hours, and I can tell such a difference. It's like, I need to be able to pay both of them enough money for both of them to be here full-time, and I feel like everything would be perfect. Well, we don't have the money for that. We don't have the enrollment to support that. So we're just going to have to do like the best we can do with what we've got and hope that we continue to grow so that their positions can continue to grow. My thought has always been, if we had administrators who did a really great job, they would sort of earn their keep, because it would help us get more students in the door if people are helping me keep up with the social media stuff that I'm always behind on, and all the other, like, I have so many ideas, but I can't execute all of them because I have to sleep and things like that. And but it's really nice to have help. So that's great. And our enrollment has been going up, which is great, but it's going up slowly, and that's not so great. But it didn't drop in the summer, which is nice. Normally we get a little bit of a drop in the summer, and I really don't think we got a big drop this year. I don't know if all the people who normally would take off for the summer had already quit when COVID started. I'm not sure. But that was good, because I was really nervous that we would have a big drop in the summer and just lose all the ground we made up. And that didn't happen, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm very, very nervous or anxious to see what's going to happen next month, because this is our back to school rush. August, September, like, that's when we need all the calls from people going back to school so that we get our enrollment up and we can stay open. And that did not happen last year because COVID. And I guess this merges into the bad zone. I was hoping that by this year, with school starting, everything would be fine. But our area here is really bad with COVID numbers right now, sadly. Last year, when we were affected by COVID, we were only affected really by the economic impact of COVID, like the shutdown for COVID. Like, people were like, oh no, I'm not getting paid. I can't go to work because of the shutdown, or I'm afraid to go out because of COVID. But I really didn't know anyone directly for quite a while who had COVID. I knew people who had COVID. But now, like, just in the last few weeks, I know so many people who have COVID. Our recital this weekend, we've had 3 people cancel because of COVID. I've had 2 people cancel their lessons because of COVID, because they have COVID. And like, one of my students is a nurse. She said 27 people died last weekend in the hospitals here in Springfield from COVID. And so people are getting pretty anxious and scared about that, understandably. I mean, I feel anxious about it myself, because we mostly, I guess, have the Delta variant. She said, my friend who is a nurse, well, she's one of my students, she said that like 90% of the cases, I think, are the Delta variant, and it's like way, way worse than the original COVID was. And she said, like, if you get in the emergency room, you have a 50-50 chance of surviving. Not the emergency room, the ICU. So, and I just have so many students who have it right now. So I don't know what this next month's going to be like, if people are going to be way too scared to go out and get lessons and they don't want to do online lessons, because even though we offered that during COVID, people aren't super excited to do online lessons. It seems like people want that face-to-face interaction, and I don't blame them because I like it too. I like to see my student in person, and I did feel really sad to not see my students in person for weeks at a time. Like, that was kind of hard. So I just don't know what to expect. I feel like it's deja vu because it feels very similar to last year, where I'm like, okay, we can make it through the next few months, and then I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know. We don't have enough students yet to stand on our own. So are we going to run out of money before we reach that point? Or are we going to have a great back to school rush and everything will be okay? I don't know. I really have given it my all over this last, however long it's been, year. Feels like it's been a decade. Trying to do everything I can to keep the conservatory alive. We're working on a postcard campaign, and we've really been trying to stay on top of all of our social media stuff. Now, I have help with it, so we're actually keeping up with it for the most part. And we're trying to schedule school concerts. I don't know if they'll let us in the schools to do those this year. I don't know if they're doing regular school or not doing regular school this year. I don't have kids, so I kind of am on the outside of that loop. And also, I'm getting married in less than 2 months, so I'm trying to plan my wedding somehow, and I'm way behind on that because I just keep spending all my time at work to try to keep the conservatory from dying. But now I'm kind of to the point with my wedding where it's like, I have to finish planning this wedding or else I don't know what's going to happen. So it stinks because I was hoping to kind of enjoy the planning of my wedding, but it's just been like more of a stress because I'm stressed about the conservatory surviving through COVID. So I just am trying to be at peace with the fact that it could still fail. If it fails, I would just transition to teaching out of my home, and so would all of the other teachers. All the students could still continue taking lessons. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Like, a lot of people are going through way worse stuff right now than that. So, like, I really don't have anything to complain about, but it still is, like, just hard to think of it happening that way after putting so much work in. But we'll see what happens. I'm so grateful for all the people who've donated to us so we could stay open and pay our bills for the last several months, because we should have been closed for almost a year now. I can't believe that. I never would have thought that what we do in our little school would matter that much to the community, and it really means so much to me. Whether we have to close in the end or not, like, that just means so much to me. So anyways, thank you again so much to everybody who's helped us out by sharing our social media posts, by donating money, and by taking time to watch our videos or like our posts, like on Facebook, things like that, recommending us to their friends. I'm just so grateful for all of that help and support. It means so, so much, no matter what happens. And I hope all of you are healthy and safe and happy and, just doing the best you can. It's such a anxious time right now, it seems like. Feels like everyone is mad at each other because they don't believe the same things or do the same things, and nobody seems to be very happy, I guess. So it's too bad. I hope things will get better soon. So, anyways, have a great night, and hopefully we'll have another update video with great news sometime in the future. Like, maybe in a month I'll be like, oh my goodness, we had 100 students enroll last month. It was incredible. Now everything's gonna be fine. I hope that's what happens. So we'll see. It's just a cliffhanger again. So have a good night. Bye bye.